Welcome into the Daily Reload. I'm Crash and you're busy. Let's go ahead and get into the shooter news. And I'll be honest with you guys, this episode is going to be a little bit more opinion and a little bit less news. There's just going to be days like that. But I want to talk about the XDefiant Beta. And as you guys know, it ends today after being extended for about 48 hours. And it's ending on an incredibly high note for the game, in my opinion. The XDefiant Twitter account tweeted, "Thank you to all that have played the closed beta so far. Your feedback is immensely helpful and we love hearing from our over 1 million players." So they're officially saying that 1 million players have got into the closed beta, and I think that is a little bit impressive for a game that's had to claw its way out of a hole from the start with the Tom Clancy IP controversy all the way up to a rocky launch to this beta with server issues and netcode being an already known problem, releasing it anyway with a lot of people complaining. To end up garnering over 1 million players is a pretty cool achievement for any game. I especially think it's of note here because to get into the closed beta, you had to actively do something, right? You either had to watch on Twitch to get a drop, sign up to get registered, to get invited, get an invite from a friend. There were actually some steps to go through to be able to get into this. And the fact that over 1 million people were willing to go through that actually speaks to the potential success of this game and everyone calling it the Call of Duty killer. Now, we all know that that is a little bit silly, but I want to talk about some reasons potentially that this game could be able to succeed, be one of the very only Call of Duty clones that is able to actually succeed. And I'll talk about why potentially this beta did so well. And part of it is that Call of Duty is in a rough space, in my opinion. One thing that I thought was really notable was a poll by Modern Warzone where he asked, is Season 3 of Warzone a W or an L update? And with over 77,000 votes, 64% of people were not impressed with Season 3 after all the hype leading up to it. And I don't know if it's just the Twitter algorithm pushing me controversial and negative posts, but I've seen a lot of people dissatisfied with Call of Duty. My most recent sad experience was this weekend playing Gunfight, which was one of my favorite modes for Modern Warfare 2019. And there's only 3 new maps that aren't shipment, and the netcode is actually peer-to-peer servers in that when we were playing it last night, and it was not a great experience. I feel like this year's Call of Duty is really not meeting its potential with all of these issues. I really want to hear from you guys down below what you think of all this, but the XDefiant Beta caused quite a stir, and for me personally, I know I talked about it on this channel already in this series, and one of the things that I wasn't that excited about was the respawn modes getting old to me, right? I wanted a new one life mode. Well, there was a little bit of news I was able to find on Twitter that someone asked Mark Rubin, are y'all adding HP and an SND like mode to rank? Mark Rubin says Hardpoint, which already is essentially a copy of it, is in their game, but more importantly, he says SND is something we are working on for a later date. I've also seen some things in some super early gameplay, some of the super early gameplay trailers where you could see some of the UI for a one life game mode, and I think that is really exciting and that'll add a new dimension. I really do think that the specialists and stuff really will fit into a one life round based mode a little bit better, how their abilities will work, when to pop them, how to do a team composition to play the way you want to as a team. I think the game actually lends itself potentially to playing those kinds of modes really well. I just think XDefiant's closed beta success is just the perfect storm of people being disenfranchised with Call of Duty. It's something new. FPS as a whole genre, I hear a lot of people say that it is really dry right now, and it's just a perfect time for it. But I also want to highlight how transparent Mark Rubin has been over on Twitter. He's bringing back some of the older Call of Duty, like red dots on the minimap and skill-based matchmaking that a lot of hardcore vocal Twitter COD fans are asking for. But he's just been incredibly receptive in answering a lot of people's questions, being honest about the netcode and the problems that they're seeing. And the guy is just genuinely communicating like a game director that I've never seen before. So I would like to think that this is something that's going to catch on in the future. I want to commend the XDefiant team and especially Mark on his transparency. Love or hate the game, I feel like you have to respect that. And I hope this is recognized across the industry as one of the reasons that this game is actually on the upward trend. Being able to have 1 million players go through steps to sign into their closed beta after such a rocky start with the reveal. I hope other companies see that communicating with your players, interacting with them, being honest can actually help your game recover. I just wanted to point that out today. That is of note to me. That's what's on my mind. I hope you guys had fun with the beta. If you played, let me know what you thought of it down below. If you're going to pick this up and put some time into it when it does release, thank you so much for watching. If you want to come back for daily FPS content, hit the buttons. I would love your help also over on my Discord to join over there and help me come up with news stories every single day where we can meet back here and talk about the games that we all love. Thank you guys so much. Have an awesome day tomorrow, and we'll see you on the other side.